Hello and welcome to this pick a card reading where I'm going to be asking what is the broader perspective. So the first thing I'll do for each group in this reading is look at your perspective and where you might be at, and then I'm going to pull out some cards that are going to be showing me Spirit's perspective on this and kind of advice for maybe freeing yourself from anything that is holding you back here. So we've got 3 groups to choose from. This is group number 1, this first shell here, group number 2 with the smoky quartz, and group number 3 with this other snail shell. Take as much time as you need to choose between them. You can pause the video. I'm going to put the timestamps for each pile down in the description box below, so once you have figured it out, you can go down there and find your reading. It can help to take some breaths to ground yourself before you tune into your pile, or do it however feels good, whichever one attracts you. And I will see you at your pile. Hi and welcome those of you who were drawn to this first shell here. So we are going to be looking at what is the broader perspective on your situation. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull a couple cards from the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, and this is going to be showing me how you perceive your situation right now, which Spirit may or may not agree or disagree or have a little more perspective to add to that, and we'll get into that later. But right now, we're looking for how do you perceive where you're at. We got the 9 of Swords. And Judgment. Okay, so right now you have a lot of anxiety about being seen for who you are. Whatever situation you're in, there's something about it where you may have a lot of self-judgment going on here, and you're worried that the people who you care about, they might not see you kindly for this. You may have been trapped in a situation or felt trapped in a situation which was unhealthy, perhaps, and this is causing you a great deal of internal upset. You may even be worried about what Spirit thinks of you, what God thinks of you, what angels think of you, however you talk about your spirituality. You may be concerned about how you're going to be perceived on all levels here. And it's really all of these fears and heartbreaks kind of stacking up on top of each other for you, to where you can hardly bear to face your situation. And there is a feeling here of that which was comfortable kind of masking the reality of what your situation is. So that can manifest in a few different ways. We can have habits which are comfortable, which kind of hide something that we're denying from ourselves. So, it's comforting to eat like another piece of cake, right? This is a pretty basic example. But if our bodies are unhealthy in some way and we know that we're hiding this from ourselves, this could be a much larger situation, you know, a relationship in which you're comfortable, which actually underneath is kind of cold and hard and not supportive. And right now, it's this kind of time of revelation where you might be seen. And maybe it's you looking at yourself, or maybe it is people who care about you noticing what's happening here. And it's bringing up a lot of pain and fear. So I'm going to pull a Raven card for this situation, and what I am kind of feeling like the Raven cards are going to offer to this reading is a little bit of a worldly perspective here. Something like advice from a friend who cares about you but also speaks the truth. We have focus on your target, aim for the center, refine your technique. First impressions of that are that it is time for you to hone in on the truth now of the situation. It's time to stop deceiving yourself or hiding behind, you know, something which was comfortable for a time, and there's no judgment on the things which are comfortable. We use them to our advantage when we are in acute discomfort. But if we give too much of our experience over to them, then that's when they become unhealthy. And there is something here which has become unhealthy, so the message with that is it's time for you to cut away what isn't serving you. It's time for you to bring out what is at the heart of things and discard the stuff that gets in the way. And I feel like at your heart here is love in some sense. Whatever kind of created this situation, it is a wish for love. And whatever you have gone through here, or whatever kind of habit you've settled into, something about it has honed your ability to bring out what is at the heart of this issue for you. There is value that you have gained, but it's time to leave behind the unhealthy part and just bring out this pure thing that you have gained from it, and that would be in you, the purity in you, the ability, the skills in you that you've gained from the situation, which it might be time to leave behind now. So I'm going to pull one more card from the Archangel Metatron Oracle, and this is going to be giving Spirit's perspective on this. And Spirit is always supportive. Spirit is always rooting for you. And even if a lesson that we go through doesn't feel that great whilst we go through it, it is for our own good. Making your kids eat their vegetables, it's good for them. Spirit is walking you through something that is good for you, and there's some excitement here about what's on the other side. Okay, so there's actually two coming out. I'm going to do them both. We have water emotional well-being, and lilac, higher realms and magic. Okay, so with emotional well-being here, it's really time for you to start letting your emotions be playful. So if there are things which you do which make you feel better, do those things. And that is a little bit of a contradictory message to the advice to stop relying on those comfort measures, but I think it is time to bring a little awareness to what is comforting you here. So, you know, instead of binge watching and eating, although there is a place for that in emotional well-being, think of doing yoga or meditating or going for a walk or seeing your friends or having supporting yourself in some way, journaling, drawing, doing something which kind of helps you sort out your internal life. It's time to nurture yourself steadily. Talking about a steady practice of nurturing yourself, and that could manifest in all different ways for all different people, but there are ways of doing it which feel kind of clean inside, and ways of doing it which make us feel more heavy. So the ways of doing it which feel more clean, and I'm not talking about placing judgments on what that kind of activity is, but you'll know the feeling when you do something that's good for you, and when you do something that is a little bit toxic. There is a difference in how those things feel. So it's really time to start building that into your daily practice or your weekly practice, making time to do that. And with lilac, higher realms and magic, there's something here, there's a reward here, there is a new level or a new state of being that you are close to achieving. You're about to walk through these doors into something that is so much more positive for you. And this could be about, anxiety before a test, right? This could be that you are about to go up for an examination to get into something that you want to do, like a college course or something like that. Where Spirit is saying, let's stop freaking out and start doing these actions which feed you, instead of allowing your anxiety to kind of control your experience. Start putting in place practices which will help you develop. And if this is not about kind of further education or furthering your career, then it is about furthering your emotional well-being. It's about furthering your life circumstances. You have something available to you into which you can walk if you put in the work to support yourself. Maybe that work is refining a skill that you're trying to use to get somewhere. Or maybe it's simply refining your ability to be okay as a person. With these wellness-oriented practices, maybe it's doing therapy and doing that work. Whatever it is, Spirit's saying there's something up ahead of you that you can gain if you start supporting yourself now, if you start doing the practices you need to do in order to get there. Spirit's saying, don't worry about being capable of it. You are capable of it. It just takes the time and effort to get there, and the door will be opened for you. So I think that about wraps up this message for those of you who chose this shell, and I am so grateful to you for checking out this video. I really enjoyed making them. If it did resonate with you, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I understand that those things make my videos more visible on YouTube, so it kind of helps me out in return for the messages. But either way, I hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope that this message brought you something that you needed. And I am grateful and in awe of the forces of the universe which bring us together to hear these messages, to the guides and the angels and all of those benevolent influences who are looking out for us on our journeys. Alrighty, group 2, those of you who chose the smoky quartz, let us see what is the broader perspective on your situation. So first off, we're going to start with pulling some tarot to look at where you feel you are in your situation, and then after that we'll pull a couple cards to give Spirit's perspective on that. So these first are from the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, and they're going to show me where you feel like you are in your situation. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So you're feeling materially stuck somehow, or you're feeling like you cannot get to where you need to be. You can't provide for yourself in the way that you need to provide for yourself. And there's this sense of like, I'm tired of having to ask. I'm tired of being in this constant struggle. I'm tired of having to look up to what I want without getting there. And really feeling as though kind of everything in place is against you. Almost as though the stability that you might be hoping for just feels completely unattainable from where you are right now. Like the world is in the hands of others and it's not available to you. So I'm going to pull a Raven card, and this is meant as almost like a wise friend or a truthful friend who cares about you, but they're not going to pull their punches. So that is kind of the feel that I'm getting from the sort of message that these Raven cards are going to deliver. Okay, we have come to rest, glide slowly down to earth, arrive and let go. So if there is any kind of resentment that you feel here, there's this message of let's let go of that. Let us take a break from the struggle. Just let yourself rest. Let go of the need for things to be a certain way right now, because it's not helping you carrying that attitude around with you. The things that you want to hold on to, the things that you want to have in your grasp, it's not helping you to keep your focus there right now. It's not necessarily suggesting that you can't get those things, but it's saying that keeping your mind constantly in that channel of not having is not helping you to feel any kind of peace. And this advice is basically, let yourself be peaceful for a little bit right now. Let yourself enjoy what there is. If you have a place to rest, enjoy resting in it. If you have food to eat, enjoy eating the food. If there are places you can go which feel good, go to those places and feel good. If you have any kind of mindfulness practice, this is the time to engage with it. If you like going to the woods, go to the woods. It's about snapping out of this focus on what you don't have and anchoring in for a little bit to a focus on what you do have. And letting that feel good. Like whatever you can do to let that feel good, do that for yourself. So I'm going to pull from the Archangel Metatron Oracle, and this is about Spirit's perspective or guidance, and most importantly, support for where you're at right now. Inner child, hear and know me. So there's some inner child work to do here. If you were raised by somebody who was very authoritarian, who constantly gave you the impression that you have to work for every single thing, that you have to earn every single thing that you have, then you might have a little bit of a disconnect in between starting where you are and getting to where you're trying to get, because you feel that it has to be this really challenging journey to get there. And Spirit's saying, let yourself rest, let yourself support yourself, be compassionate with yourself, listen to what you want, not with an authoritarian structure that says, well, you didn't get there and you didn't work hard enough to get there and it's your fault. Just listen to what you want with saying like, oh yeah, it would be lovely to have that. It would be lovely to have that thing that you want. It would be lovely to live in that place that you want to live. Validate your own desires here. That is the first step right now towards getting out of this funk where you're just resentful and don't know how to engage with the world because you feel like it's against you. And this probably is because a parent or a guardian, someone who brought you up, gave you the impression that things would be against you or that you had to earn things. And that was almost like an attack on your pure expression of joy and desire about things, and it caused you to have a pattern of immediately shutting down what you want or feeling that you're not worth what you want, or judging yourself for wanting more than you have. So the first step right here is just allowing yourself to have a kind of sweetness around your desires instead of feeling like it's going to cause trouble or it's going to be hard. If you spent your younger years almost feeling like you had to be begging for scraps, then you might have this internal wall where it's like, I'm not allowed to just have a free-flowing enjoyment of stuff. I have to, like, beg for what I want and humiliate myself and put in all of this grunt work. And it's not saying that you don't have to work for what you want. It's saying that this attitude is not serving you and getting to where you're trying to get, and it's time to hold these desires, not with resentment that you don't have them, but simply with enjoyment of the thing that you're looking at that you desire, simply anchoring into appreciation of that thing and completely validating yourself in wanting it. Because it's not a poor reflection on you that you don't have it yet. And it's not a poor reflection on you that you want it. So it's time to direct this really loving, nurturing, validating energy towards yourself and find the space to do that. Find the space that feels peaceful and happy. Go to that place. Rest in that place. Whatever life circumstances you have to work around, make some time to go to that place. And leave behind this societal pressure or parental pressure or whatever it was that kind of formulated this idea within you that you weren't worthy of what you wanted and you shouldn't even want it. So I think that that is all that I am seeing for you, Pile 2. I really hope that this message gives you a little bit of validation, clarity, support. And I am constantly in awe of the way that Spirit works to bring everybody together to hear these messages, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And if this video did resonate for you, please consider liking it, commenting, let me know if it resonated, subscribe. Those things, they bring me a little bit more visibility on YouTube, which helps me out in return for making the video and delivering the message. But either way, I truly hope that your day is wonderful, and I hope that this brought you a little bit of support on your journey. Hi there, group 3 with this final shell. Welcome to your reading. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, and this is going to be showing me what your perspective of your situation is before we bring in the broader perspective from Spirit. We got the 7 of Pentacles. And the Fool in reverse. So you have been working towards something and you're not sure if it's going to pay off, or you want to work towards something. You want to put in the time, but again, you're not sure if it's a wise decision. You're not sure if it's going to be lucrative. You are kind of having all of these doubts about what you would like to build. Or you're looking at what you've done already and you're starting to feel discouraged. You're starting to feel like, why isn't it paying off? Was this just a stupid thing to try? Like, why can I not see the results that I want from what I have been trying to do here? And was it a mistake and naive to even try in the first place? There's almost a feeling of, you know, is my decision regrettable? Is what I'm trying to do regrettable? Am I just gonna end up looking like a fool? Like, what do I have to lean on? What do I have to support myself with this? Am I just gonna fall on my face? Is it just an empty endeavor? Or when will it yield? So I'm going to pull a Raven card, and this is going to be kind of practical advice or, worldly advice for your situation here. Consider the ravens, for they sow not, neither do they reap, neither have they storehouse nor barn, and God feeds them. And that is Luke 22:29. Am I reading that right? Oh, sorry. Luke 12:24. Completely misread that. It's a very appropriate message. This is literally a picture of somebody hoping to reap what they sow. And here we're saying you are supported. You are supported from spirit. Faith is the advice here. Faith that things will work out. So I suspect that this is probably a group who resonate with spirituality pretty heavily here. And it's this feeling of like, look around, you've seen miracles, you know they exist. Believe that this can happen for you too. Believe that things can come together for you too in miraculous ways that you haven't even considered, because you have seen it in other people's lives. Get your energy out of doubting yourself. Get your energy out of looking what you have and feeling like it's not enough because it's not helping you to look that way. And bring in some faith that things will work in your favor. That this was not just a completely foolish endeavor, or it won't be a completely foolish endeavor. And that God will bring it together for you, or Spirit will bring it together, your guides, your angels. It is going to work in your favor if you give it a try. So I'm going to pull from the Archangel Metatron Oracle, and I expect that Spirit will bring forth some message of support with this card. We have chakra, light, body. So I think, have a look at the image here. So if what you want to start is some kind of spiritual business, or if it is something spiritual that guides you towards what you want to do, then Spirit is confirming, like, yes, it's real. And I cannot escape. This is the Seven of Pentacles right here. And they're all kind of jumbled up and not harvested yet and still growing. But there is 7 pentacles. Typically, we talk about 7 chakras in the body. So this is saying, get your energy in alignment. Remember that you are a spiritual being. Remember that you are an energetic being in an energetic universe. Because that is part of what inspires you in the first place, probably here. So if this is something where you want to share your spirit with the world around you, Spirit's saying, like, you don't have to get bogged down in the details quite so much, because that's starting to get in your way. And you can have faith. You can have faith that what you share will be valuable because it is you sharing it. You can have faith that you, as an energetic being in a whole universe of energy, have something to offer, especially if this kind of clear spiritual place is where you're coming from. So it might be that you need to do a little work on your chakras. There are lots of sound healing meditations on YouTube which are specific to chakras, or you could go see an energy worker or use crystals. There are lots of ways that you can bring this into alignment. But it's like once your energy is aligned, these doubts are going to be out of your mind. It's not going to be a concern anymore. It's almost as though you had a spiritual awakening and it brought you into towards doing something that you want to do, but now you're doubting or you're worried or you don't feel grounded, and you're looking at it and you're like, was that real? Am I really going to do this? Is it possibly going to support me? And Spirit's saying, yeah, just get your energy back, nurture your energy, support yourself how you need to, and you will be able to achieve everything that you believed in, and more, because that's just how Spirit does stuff. We bring in more than we could ever expect. So have faith. Have faith in your own spirituality and your own experiences. Have faith that what you experience is valuable for you to bring out into the world. Have faith that you will be supported whilst you do it. Because you have something really special to share. And I'm excited about it. And I hope that you are too, and I hope that you remain excited about it. So I think that that is your message for today. I truly hope that it brought you value and validation and confirmation and support. And I am always in awe of how the universe brings us together to bring out these messages at the right moment in time. All of our guides, our angels, spirit guides, God, source, however you refer to it, it constantly blows my mind that this happens. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it and honored to be a part of it. And if this video did resonate for you, throw me a comment to let me know how it resonated. I would love to know. Or please think about liking the video, subscribing, those things. I guess they raise my visibility on YouTube, which helps me out in return for making the video and putting out the message. But, you know, even if you don't do any of those things, I wish you such a beautiful day, and I hope that this message brought you something that you were looking for. And thank you so much for coming by.